I forgot my microphone. Here we go. Yep, get on in here. Getting everything ready for Miss Laura to get here. Hey, I have a zit right there. And one thing about it, you may not like them, but they get puffy and the wrinkles go away. It's funny. Anyway, I got some coffee. I may need some extra coffee. Let me go over here and try not to wiggle. Uh-oh. As much as I try to keep my cords all straight. There we go. I got more coffee right here, and it's still hot. My little pot makes this thing full and this cup full, and I pour it in this cup and it cools off quicker. There's a method to my madness. Anyway, I'm getting ready for Laura and her son to be here this weekend, and I'm going to go home and see Robert. I'm excited. And she's excited to get to see Ben. So we're all excited here. Anyway, get on in here. And I have piles going. So we got to do our little book. Today is day 17. And I'm going to pull out my Trump money and my card. Ben gave me that for my birthday. Here it is. Establish a bedtime routine. Put it on your before bed routine. You need 8 hours each night. Establish a bedtime routine. So you need to know what time you're going to bed. For me, it's about midnight, 11:30 midnight. I like to watch the news before I go to bed when I'm home. Here, I don't really watch the news, but my eyes get heavy, and I wake up about 8 o'clock every morning. So I go to bed by midnight. I get 8 hours of sleep. There's Miss Kathy. Taking time for yourself not only blesses you, but it also blesses your family. So getting enough sleep is good for you. It really is good for you. So let's put our before bed routine down in paper, Let's put it in paper and put it up where you can see it. Put it on your bathroom mirror, whatever you need to do. Now, let's see. I need more coffee in my cup. Yep, pouring me more coffee. But let's talk about our morning routine. Many years ago, in 1990, I got depressed. I got really depressed. And it was my first time ever being depressed. And a friend of mine tricked me. She said, I've got a doctor's appointment in Memphis. I lived in Tiptonville, Tennessee at the time. I've got a doctor's appointment in Memphis. Will you go with me? And she was a church friend. And that was just an amazing journey. I went to Memphis with her because I didn't want her going by herself. And when I got to her appointment with her psychologist, the appointment wasn't for her, it was for me. So I sat down with the psychologist, my first time ever going to see a psychologist. And I didn't even know I was depressed. I had no clue. And they wanted me to check myself into a codependency center. Charter is what it was called, and Lakeside Charter. And I said, I can't. I've got a family at home. I've got to go home and take care of my family. And they said, well, if you're checked in if you want to go. So I rode all the way home with her, and she dropped me off. I went in and I told my son's father that they wanted me to check into the hospital. And here's what he did, and I'll never forget it. He said, well, if you check yourself into the loony bin, don't bother coming home. And guess what that did? It made me mad. And sometimes you need to get mad before you can get well. It's just that simple. Sometimes you just need to get angry before you can get better. And I packed my suitcase because I didn't have anything with me. When I had gone to Memphis, I went down for the day, and I packed my suitcase, and I went back and checked myself in to Lakeside Charter for 10 days. 10 days. And what I learned there has changed my life. It changed my life. Because the thing that I learned, we were in a group setting. And in that group setting, I was rooming with two girls that were absolutely beautiful. I mean, beautiful, lovely women who were there for the same reason I was. They were depressed and codependent. And, when you talk about codependency, you have to read some books on codependency or go to a codependency 12-step program and understand what's happening. Having been raised by someone who was addicted to medications, it's an up and down cycle. And as Ben and I were talking last night, it goes back to when you're little. Things follow you unless you address them. So one of the first things they did was have these two ladies that were in the room with me do a makeover. Now, my hair was down to here. It was stringy. It was probably dirty and oily. And what they did was, and I didn't wear a lot of makeup, and they had them do a makeover on me. I didn't know how to do a makeover. I had never worn any makeup to amount to anything. And so they did a makeover. They fixed my clothes. They got me dressed to lace up shoes. And I walked into the group setting, and everybody in the room had to describe me to me. And they said, well, you're carrying yourself differently. You look nice, and the negative in me would say, well, I didn't look nice before. Well, I didn't. I looked frumpy. I looked sad. But then with a little makeup on, my hair done, they fixed my hair. All I ever did was pull it back in a ponytail, hanging down my back. I really didn't know how to fix my hair. They fixed my hair. They put just a little bit of lipstick and some eyeshadow, a little mascara, which I don't wear mascara. But what I realized and what I learned from that experience, and everything that has ever happened to me has prepared me to be here. Yes, prepared me to be Fly Lady. I had to go through all this so I could tell this story. And that's one of the things that John 11:4. Let me pull it up and read it. I have to read it to you because it's on Ben's TV table. John 11:4 is a verse that came to me when Ben was first diagnosed with cancer. A verse that came to me. And I'm trying to find Google. Let me pull this up. Eleven. Four. Search. And this is from the NIV, New International Version. When he heard this, Jesus said, "This sickness will not end in death. No, it is for God's glory, so that God's Son may be glorified through it." So everything I've ever been through has prepared me to be Fly Lady. Everything that Ben's going through right now is going to glorify God in Jesus' name. So going through the depression, and then I went through another form of depression in the mid-90s, and having gone through that other depression, I felt myself sinking into a bottomless pit. Some people call it spiraling downward. Well, don't accept that. I want you to go upward. You know, screws go down and the screws come out. So let's go up with this spiral. Let's change just a few things about our lives that can set us up for success. And one of those things is getting dressed to lace up shoes, fixing your hair and face when you first get up in the morning. So you see, there's a method behind my madness. Getting up and getting dressed. Some of you, you jumped in the 1st of January, all gung-ho, and now it's the 17th day of January, and you've already fallen off the Fly Lady bandwagon. Well, I'm here to tell you, there's not one. You can jump back in and join us any time. Get up right now. If you're one of those sitting there feeling sorry for yourself, I want you to get mad. I want you to say, I'm not going to be this way anymore. I'm going to take care of me. And it starts with going and getting a shower. One time I mentored a lady who hadn't had a bath in 3 weeks, and she's been in her pajamas. So getting up and getting dressed is going to change your life. That's your first step every morning, is to get dressed before the flow of the family. Get up 15 minutes before the family. And it starts the night before by going to bed at a decent hour. So let's get dressed to lace up shoes. Let's take care of ourselves. Because if you don't take care of you, who will? If you don't take care of you, who will? You have to take care of yourself. So God has a plan for our lives. We may not know what it is. I mean, I never knew. As Scott Adams said, I had this wonderful talent stack. I could do a lot of things, but I never knew what I wanted to be when I grew up. And it wasn't until I was 43 years old that I found my purpose. And now I'm 64. 64, and I have had this purpose for the last 21 years. Now, granted, the first 9 months of it was establishing my own routines, establishing my own habits. But guess what? I know who I am. And I always knew God had a plan for me. I just didn't know what it was. But when you get rid of the clutter that surrounds you, when you get rid of all the things that keeps tugging you back, you can hear the voice of the Lord pushing you. You may not actually hear his voice, although I have, sitting in a little chapel down in St. Augustine, Florida. I heard it plain as day. Don't ask. He said, don't ask. I've already sent you a sign. He knew what I was going to do. He knows the hair on your head. He knows the number of the hairs on your head. He knows everything. All you got to do is get rid of the noise that's in your head that's keeping you pulled away from your purpose. Everybody's got a purpose. And I'm going to help you establish some habits and let your house be on automatic pilot so that you can get things done. And you can be who God put you on this earth to be. You don't have to wait. You can do it now. So you see, getting up and getting dressed to shoes is the first step you take to the rest of your life. The first step you take. So let's get dressed. Let's get a shower and get dressed. Wash your hair, fix your face, and let's take care of things. Get some good food in your body. Get some energy moving through you. So don't wait for the motivation. I want you to do like Mel says, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Jump up and let's do it. You can do it. Get up and get dressed to lace up shoes. And wear clothes that make you feel like $1,000,000. Don't put on sweats. Put on fun stuff. In fact, I got my nursing pants on right now, being called my nursing pants, because it's got a side pocket that I can put my phone in. We just have to get up and get dressed. We can't wait for somebody. I'm not going to motivate you. You've got to motivate yourself. I can't come and pull you out of that chair. I can't do it. But you can get your own self up. And half the battle is standing. And if you can get out of bed in the morning, you can get dressed. No ifs, ands, or buts. You're going to feel better when you do. You're going to look better when you do. And when you do your before bed routine, and tell my sister Dina, I've been doing before bed routine. I brought my stuff with me to get rid of my little waddle here. So folks, do your routines. Routines put your home on autopilot. And they get things done. And you don't even realize you're doing them. The kitchen is spotless. The dining room table is clean. Ben's medicines are all laid out. We're ready to go. So take care of you. Let's get things done. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, blast off. You can do it. I love you all. And I may do an early tea time because I intend to be on the road before 3 o'clock to go see my sweet darling. I love you. And please go get dressed. I can beg, and I can beg. But if you're not dressed, you can't clean out your purse. You can't clean out your car. You need to be dressed to lace up shoes. Go do it. You can do it. I know you can. I did it. If I can do it, anybody can. Listen to me. I survived depression. You don't have to let it define you. And I was watching Fox Business this morning, and Bo Duke from the Dukes of Hazzard, John Snyder, was on there with his lovely wife. And I recorded it. And he was talking about what they did to battle her cancer that she was diagnosed with in May of 2019. What they did. And he has a brand new company with CBD oil that helped in their process. But what they said this morning is they got her vitamin and minerals checked, got those levels checked. And I hope it comes up on video somewhere. I think I'm going to search for him. He was on Barney and Company on Fox Business. And he said the CBD oil, and Ben can't take CBD oil or he could get put back in prison unless it's prescribed. And we're going to talk to the doctors about getting that prescribed. But he can't take it. So folks, spend some time. I don't know what this thing that Curtis has posted, but it needs to be blocked. I'm trying to block him. I can't block it. So don't click on any links, y'all. Do not click on any links. He could be a troll. Don't click on any links unless the Fly Crew puts them in here. So we have, I forgot to tell you about our sales. We have a flash sale going on. Flash sale. Flash sale on calendars. And we kept up the complete cleaning package because we got a lot of new people joining and Justin just couldn't see turning that off. But get your book. We're going through this book. We've got our Back to Basics. The number 2, Back to Basics, is a coupon code that works on everything except the FCC pack, complete cleaning kit, and the calendars because they're discounted. They're $12.95 and $6.95 for the big calendar and the little calendar. So get them. Get it. And folks, some great sales. Don't miss them. Especially with that 20% discount on everything else in the shop that isn't already discounted. And this afternoon, while you're in the shop, get some tea. Get some Body Clutter Wise Women's Tea. I love you all. I will see you later.